Like bowling.
Bowling's definitely a sport. Spike ball, sport.
Pickleball.
Pickleball is having a moment.
It's having a fucking moment.
If anybody knows where I can go try to play some pickleball without having to buy the gear so I can just test it out, I would love to go play.
I think it was a PFF graph or whatever. I shared it. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't understand that graph. Like, you'd go to PE, just be like, bam.
Yeah, that's what
school
it was.
School pants off, school shorts off, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't have to change.
We're going to get buckets.
Yeah. That's all it was for me, so I didn't have to change. Now, looking back, that's fucking disgusting. Hey, yo.
Yo.
Welcome to the Who F'n Kneauxs podcast, episode 14.
Ooh, you know what? I forgot it this time.
I'm on a fucking roll.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, butter me up and put me on some bread, bitch.
I'm going to let you do your thing, but the official podcast of Dads.
Nice. I was thinking the official podcast of those who outkick their coverage. Guys who outkick their coverage.
Yeah. Cheers to us.
Yeah. The official podcast of people who spend way too much money on Disney instead of taking a real vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say that because, and maybe we'll have a fun episode next week, but I say that because while we all know Dave did Disney a month ago, 2 months ago, how long ago was it now?
Just look up the date of the hurricane. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember the date.
Yeah, something like that.
It's my turn.
End of September. Last week, September.
Yeah. So, yeah. About a month. But it's my turn.
You really put the pressure on me with how well you did the episode that week.
We'll figure it out.
I got a lot to live up to.
The good news is I get back like Thursday.
The best thing about you going to Disney, it means that when you get back, I'm like 2 days from Vegas, and I'm so excited.
That's fucking sweet.
That's gonna be a rough 2 weeks for us for recording wise.
No, we'll figure it out. We always do.
We're gonna go a couple weeks without seeing each other. It sounds like.
We probably do. We could probably do that. Probably do us good.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
All right, man.
The more comfortable we get with each other, and the more comfortable I get with Ethan, who's never pictured here. I just talk so much shit to everyone now. For anyone who didn't see the other day, I got fired. That was cool.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Credit to Maddie. How do you say her last name? Hudak?
Yep, not gonna try that.
Yeah, I butchered it. Hopefully she doesn't listen. Credit to her for the dad joke that got me fired. I really appreciate that. I couldn't help but laugh, so I deserved it. But anyways, we could jump into some fun stuff here.
How was your Halloween? Sorry.
It was good. No, that's a good start. It was good. I was exhausted on Halloween. I was fucking exhausted. I don't even know why. We went trick or treating here around the neighborhood, and then we went to our friend's house. And my daughter was helping them like pass out candy. They were having a great time. Which, side note, every neighborhood I've ever been into, right? Like you walk from house to house to trick or treat. Mm-hmm. Their neighborhood is so bougie and big. People were rolling up on golf carts. Like that's how they trick or treat.
So my neighborhood is not bougie or big at all. I mean, I guess it's big as far as just how many houses there are, but it's not like big houses or anything, or like big houses. I just said that twice. But anyway,
I got the point.
They had a couple people with golf carts too, but we also have y'all have the mailboxes like somewhere else too, right?
Yeah.
So they do the same thing. They get the golf carts, I'm pretty sure, just to go ride to the mailboxes. So they used it for Halloween. I had a bone to pick with trick or treating as well.
Oh, let's hear it.
I just wrote down trick or treating is annoying now. So when I was growing up, and you chime in on this, when you were walking around at night, if your porch light was on your house, you were giving away candy.
Yes.
That's a thing?
Yes.
All right. I had to make sure this wasn't just a me thing. The amount of times my son went up to a door and just stood there because nobody came to the door and the porch light was on is unbelievable. Like, just turn it off.
Yeah.
And then there was one time, because we were with our neighbors and their two kids, they went up to the door, and the dude came, like, you could see him, like, because he had, like, one of the foggy glass doors. I could see him, like, scrambling. He just comes. He's scrambling back there. He gives them each piece of candy. They walk away. He turns the light off. I was like, this dude totally just went into his pantry, grabbed a couple pieces of candy, and told my kids to get the fuck out of here.
Good for him though. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
He very much could have just turned the light off or never come to the door. But I respected that. But the rest of them, that just kept their lights on, and I mean, I guess maybe it's just not a thing anymore. I don't know.
I wondered. When we were leaving our house to go trick-or-treating, this is a brand new neighborhood, first time trick-or-treating in this neighborhood. And I was wondering, like, what's it going to be like? Are people going to put their lights on? How do we know what house to go to? Like, and then I started thinking, like, and I'm going way too deep into this. Is it because we had like 2 years without trick-or-treating? Like, did people forget how to trick-or-treat?
We still did it.
Did you?
Yeah, they still did it by
we
us.
Didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like I noticed like most of the older people kept their lights on and were giving out candy. Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's like a younger person thing where they just don't know, or also like my porch light is automated. I had to turn it off. Like if my door senses motion at us between certain hours, like after the sun goes down, I think is how I have it set. Yeah. The light comes on. So it could also be something similar to that.
We did you guys stay home and did anybody stay home and hand out candy? Or
so my wife put out a
take one bucket.
She put out 2 tubs of like one tub of like pretzels and another of cheese balls. I guess she got from like Sam's or something. They were actually for the Halloween party at the daycare, and they had too much food, so she just brought them back home. Nice. So she put them out. She said, "Help yourself." She put us out. It said, "Happy Halloween, help yourself."
I love that. We were pretty fortunate. So we were the take. We didn't put a sign out. We didn't say take one, but we were definitely the take one house and put a bucket out and just went trick or treating because like I wasn't gonna stay home and not trick or treat with my daughter, and neither was my wife. So it was just kind of like, we put a bucket out and you got what you got, and if you didn't get anything and it was gone, too bad. If some lucky kid took the whole bucket, good for him. But our neighborhood surprised me. This is Toulouse, by the way, for anyone who can see cameo appearance. No, our neighborhood was great. Like, I was worried about if people were going to answer doors, stuff like that. We didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. Every single house had their garages open. They had tables set up in the front.
That's how most of my neighborhood is, too.
They had DJs set up. Like, it was a fucking party. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
So
yeah, we had fun.
No bones to pick here.
No, I have one complaint about my neighborhood is our streetlights don't do anything, which I can see, like, around your neighborhood, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They don't do jack shit. Like, whatever they're putting my HOA fees to, it needs to go to streetlights.
That's a whole nother topic. What do HOA fees go to anyway?
I get a list at the end of the year.
Do you?
And most of it is like maintenance for the neighborhood. Like we have 2 catch and release ponds in our neighborhood, so it goes to like they put fountains in there a couple years ago, which I thought was stupid, and then somebody explained to me it helps with mosquitoes, and stuff like that. I guess they've restocked the ponds because people do actually fish in them.
That would be nice. We have a pond too, and they just did put the fountain in for the mosquitoes and all that. So like I get that, but that'd be nice if they threw some fish in there, do a little catch and release action. Yeah, I like that.
My son likes it. He caught a fish one time. He was not afraid to touch it. We caught mostly turtles, which I felt terrible about. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, my daughter loves to see the turtles. Anyways, we don't have to keep going down that rabbit hole. I wanted to start with a fun topic. I wasn't going to talk about Halloween, but that's a good thing to start with. Now it's in the rear view. I scroll through reels all the time, just like anyone else. It pulls me down a rabbit hole, and I get to one where it's a bunch of girls just talking, and one of them was talking about like, this is going to go down a rabbit hole, but she was talking about how hot athletes are, right? But then she's like, well, if you see them in a bar, are they really that hot? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. What I'm getting at is the athletes she was talking about were NASCAR drivers, and the entire set looks at her and they're like, NASCAR's not a sport, and it just spurned this whole argument. So what I wanted to talk about to kick this off is there anything out there that you think should not be considered a sport, that things are a sport? What camp are you in? Because I growing up, I remember certain people say, oh, NASCAR's not a sport, cheerleading is not a sport.
So what classifies something as a sport? Like, so what I mean by that is, like, if it's shown on ESPN, is it a sport? Because, like, are we counting the spelling bee?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't go that far.
So just general, if people think it's a sport. NASCAR to me is a sport.
You know, by the terms that I'm going to put out there, you said spelling bee, and my immediate reaction was no. But by my terms that I'm going to say make something a sport, the spelling bee might be a sport.
It might be a mental.
It might be a sport.
I don't know.
Here's how I define a sport. Is it competitive? Like, can you win it? Yes.
Yeah.
So NASCAR, yes. Spelling bee, yes. Does it take some sort of skill to win it? Spelling bee, like, yeah. Like, it takes a mental skill. NASCAR, yes. Like, you could tell me all day some Joe Schmo thinks he can drive 200 miles an hour around a track and win, but I guarantee he's going in the wall. Like, he doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, those cars don't have power steering, do they?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know
Which
enough
makes
about
it, if you've never driven a car that doesn't have power steering, it's so hard. I think it's easier as it goes a little faster. But when I was we ain't doing this again.
Fucking dogs.
Although I do love the SpongeBob cut-ins. Anyway, when I was a valet, I had to drive a couple cars with no power.
I've done that.
Oh my god! Like, it takes some arm strength to be able to turn them.
That's only when you're not moving. Like you said, when you're moving,
It's not as
a
bad.
deal. So my dad, when I was growing up, he had this truck we call Big Red. It was an old Ford. Never had power steering, and I used to have to drive it around the block and like do shit. And man, I hated that truck.
I think the only, like, what I would add to it, were you done giving me your
yeah, old Red.
No, I mean, were you done giving me your
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Who fucking knows? Just take it wherever you want it.
I think the only thing I would add is there some kind of physical strain or requirement to do it? Because I think that's what I think of as sport, is something physical. That's why I don't count the spelling bee. I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe you get some negative feedback from that, but I think if it takes like some physical skill to do it.
Is chess a sport? They crown a champion.
I put that in it's like a mental sport.
Yeah.
I think that's a different kind of thing.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not ever going to call something not a sport if I can't do it.
That's kind of how I feel
Like,
too, right? Like,
I would be done in a chess tournament within 2 minutes. And I don't even know what all the pieces do. And then a spelling bee? Nope. There's no chance. If I didn't have Siri, I'd be the worst texter in the world.
just autocorrect all
I have the
day.
grammar of a third grader.
Oh, that sucks, man.
No.
Louisiana education for you.
Yeah. Specifically a Chalmette education.
Jesus. I can't say anything. I grew up in Jefferson Parish. It's not much better.
No, I mean, NASCAR specifically is 100% a sport. You said cheerleading, 100% a sport.
Darts? Are darts a sport?
Yeah. Cornhole, sport. Like, that's like all these new age sports, like darts and cornhole. I guess not darts, but like cornhole is a new thing.
Yeah.
Not new, but it's becoming like a professional thing now.
Yeah. Like bowling.
Bowling's definitely a sport. Spike ball, sport.
Pickleball.
Pickleball is having a moment.
It's having a fucking moment.
If anybody knows where I can go try to play some pickleball without having to buy the gear so I can just test it out, I would love to go play.
Isn't it like tennis? I don't even know what it is. I'm going to be honest with you.
They have pickleball. I don't know. They have pickleball courts at Pelican Park.
Okay.
I went and played basketball there last month, and as I was leaving, like I guess they do it on the tennis courts. There was like 5-6 courts completely full. I mean, hundreds of people. Pickleball is having a moment.
Yeah. I see it all the time on TV. Like Drew Brees invested in a pickleball team. Kevin Durant, I think, either bought one or was looking to buy one.
The
like all
idea
these
of Kevin
athletes.
Durant playing pickleball seems funny to me.
The idea of Kevin Durant just living day to day.
I'm all for trying like those ridiculous sports like that. Like when I was at UNO, me and a couple of my buddies would go play. We got into like a racquetball phase.
Yeah.
Because we were just working out and trying to find new ways to do cardio. So we'd go like basketball one day, and then we'd go play racquetball for like an hour and talk about a workout. And it's fun as hell.
I don't know if my knees could hold up. All
Not
the
now.
constant like jumping and cutting to get to
I want to try it. I want to try pickleball.
old.
Is beer pong a sport?
I mean,
If you count cornhole, I feel like you have to count.
I think you count beer pong. There's just there's like professional competitions for beer pong, right?
I
don't think they call it beer pong.
Professional
It's like cup
competitions
pong
for
or something.
everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a fun conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to come up with something that I don't think is a sport. You know what I mean? Like that's a kind of an odd like phrase or way to phrase it, but unless somebody just tells like if you did giving me a bunch of different things, is it a sport? Yes or no? That's all I got for you.
What about telling your wife you're going out with the boys? Is that a sport?
Drinking's a sport.
How do we properly navigate this? It takes a strategy. It's competitive.
Drink is It is both a mental sport and a physical sport.
You covered all areas there. Oh man. All right. I guess we can get into the bigger stuff here.
You want to save? I got a couple ridiculous topics for you. You want to save them as some in between of the serious topics we got?
Yeah, we could do that.
All
I've got another like fun topic too, but we could get into that in a minute. Let's dive right into. We were a Saints-free podcast last week, but we're gonna go into Saints this week. First and foremost, they won. They fucking blew the Raiders out.
Again,
So
feels like a month ago.
it feels like a month ago at this point because we're recording on Thursday. That game was on Sunday. Fortunately, the next game's not until Monday, so this will come out before, like well before.
What day you leave?
I leave on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I leave on Thursday. I get back on the following Thursday, I think. I don't know.
Anyway.
But, yeah, Saints won. And the first thing I wrote down is it promising? Do you give Sean Payton credit?
I give, especially after today, I wish Sean Payton nothing but the worst in his professional career. I hope he has a good life, but I wish him nothing but the worst for the rest of his career. So, no, I don't give him credit for anything.
We'll dive into that in a second.
I do actually give him some credit. Like, that game plan headshot, whatever he did, it worked.
There's someone I follow on Twitter. I can't remember her name right now. I'll shout her out if I ever remember her name, but she tweets cryptic things all the time about the Saints, like as if she's in the know. And in the know. There you go. And she's always right.
Weird.
Always. Like before the game,
Didn't Sean Payton have a mistress?
Yeah, but it's not her. I don't think it's her. I doubt it's her. She goes for Taco Charlton and Marshawn Lattimore. But no, and she's fun. She's a fun follow. But before, like she's been spot on with the injury news. She's been spot on with. She said last week. She said Sean Payton was at the facility today. She said it almost jokingly, like she gave DA the playbook and tips on how to beat the Raiders. And then sure enough, the offense comes out, and maybe coincidentally, it just looks like a much – I mean, they've been playing better anyway, but it looks like a much better offense. It looks like a much better game plan overall. Like,
well, we'll know.
It was interesting.
We'll know on Monday if he doesn't go back to the facility and they just come out and lay a dud again, that it was Sean.
I just find it so interesting. I've never seen a coach retire and then stay around the team in the way he has.
Especially when you know he's coming back.
Yeah. And not here. Like, what are you doing?
Wouldn't that be the wildest of twists?
If he came back here?
Wouldn't it?
It would be kind of wild. I just took a year off and back.
I want to say this ahead of time in case it does happen. That is the only way he is not on my shit list anymore. Is if he comes back here. It is not going to happen. The odds on that have to be astronomical.
Yeah. He's definitely not on my shit list. At this moment.
He's on my shit list.
I know. We've gone down that rabbit hole.
I'm going to say it every time.
I don't get, like you've mentioned you don't want him around the team. I don't get why he continues to come around.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, that's 100% weird.
It's
being in attendance at a game in LA, not as weird. Not that weird. I know I made jokes about it last week. That's really not that odd. I mean, Drew especially. We all know Drew is always around that, especially the Chargers. Oh, not the Chargers. You know what I mean. In Arizona. I don't know why I said LA.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But yeah, Drew being around the team, I don't have any problem with that. Sean it's just weird. And you know what? If it wasn't that, if we didn't know he was coming back, I don't think it'd be as weird to me.
Yeah, it's almost like a girl you broke up with, that like or a girl that broke up with you, and she's like playing the field, like weighing her options, right? But at the same time, she's like, hey, like every now and then she like Snapchats you something like kind of, you know.
You're the fallback plan.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just in case.
Yep.
Make sure you know I'm still here.
You want that old thing back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you don't go back to your ex. Leave that shit alone. That's my dating advice. No, and then on top of that, a few things outside of that. Saints look great. You know, I really can't nitpick anything that happened in the game. Are the Raiders that bad? Maybe. Josh McDaniels, I've never been a big fan of. I've always thought he was a terrible coach. Maybe a good offensive coordinator like could scheme up some good offense, but outside of that, like,
no, I mean they finally did what all of us have been saying to do, and just got your best players the ball.
yeah,
You put the ball in. Shout out to Alvin, number one, because he put like everybody on blast basically, and gave his speech, and then came out and backed that shit up.
sure the fuck did.
And you know what? Every time he has something to say, he comes out and backs it up. When he had the thing where he says we would have beat the fuck out the Eagles, and then the next year he comes out and we beat the shit out the Eagles. So he knows what he's got to do. So that was good to see him get involved. Number one, in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's been the biggest mystery to me. And it's just that he is going to town right now. I don't think we can see that, but
It feels dirty. I don't.
Yeah, and then you know what? It's not even like, and I've said this for a while, there should be at least 3 times a game where you just throw him the ball behind the line of scrimmage and just see what happens.
Fuck it.
But that little Texas route,
Mm-hmm.
every time. Why are we not running that 4 or 5 times a game?
You know, and that's the thing, right? Like, I haven't understood the game plans going in or the play calling going in. Especially, there's another guy on Twitter who always calls out that the schemes were different when Jameis was quarterback. And I think there's some validity to that. Like, it looks like they're calling an entirely different game ever since Andy Dalton took over.
But I will say, I mean, just to be like, devil's advocate on that, when we had Jameis, there was a lot of second and long, third and longs. Like, a lot of people are pointing out we're running the ball more. Now, Taysom wasn't as involved with Jameis, which is a huge difference, obviously.
I think he was injured early. He was still recovering.
Yeah, and then, but it's hard to get a running game established when you're constantly behind the stick, playing behind the chains. So that's my argument against that, of why we didn't run the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm with you. It's definitely different. It looks a little bit more creative now. You getting Alvin the ball. You got Taysom going. They finally gave Shaheed more than one touch.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
The dude is just lightning.
He looks good. Did you see the stat? Not Shaheed oriented, but Andy Dalton. I'm gonna show him some love because I haven't really given him love. I've just been like, hey, he hasn't been bad enough to lose a job. I think it was a PFF graph or whatever. I shared it. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't understand that graph.
I was trying to understand it, but essentially, like, I understood what they said, and it was basically like, quarterbacks who were given time in the pocket and then their performance when they're given X amount of time.
I just knew he was on the better end of the graph because
I
know by like
best.
every statistic, as crazy as this is, Tua is like the best quarterback in the league this year.
Yeah.
And by every like advanced statistic, Tua is like the best in the league. So Dalton was up there too, and I was like, oh, he must be doing well.
You know what's funny about those two guys though? Neither one of them throw the ball deep. Like, you could say Tua's been throwing the ball deep, but he hasn't. His deep balls have been like 20 yards, and the guys just run with it.
Yeah, I'd also like to see what Tua. Tua's been better than I thought he was. Well, I mean, I've always thought he was like he's like 38, 40 to 40-year-old Drew Brees, but now like that's his prime. His old Drew Brees. That's what he is. Like, he doesn't have that deep ball, but he doesn't necessarily
comparison.
I mean, is it wrong?
No.
He doesn't necessarily need it. He's got 2 receivers that I don't know how many Dolphins games you've watched. Jalen Waddle never has anybody within 10 yards of him. When he's like, that scheme is just scheming these two. Did you know Tyreek Hill is on pace to break Calvin Johnson's yardage record?
No, but I could see it.
Yeah.
He's been killing it.
They've each had craziest thing about the Dolphins. Like, them two are having like crazy seasons stat-wise. There's not another receiver, at least before the last game that they just played, there's not another receiver on that team with more than 200 yards on the season.
That's funny. What's Gesicki at now? Because Gesicki came on strong
I don't know what he was at. That's what I'm saying. Maybe after this game. But he's really just like a touchdown vulture.
That's true. He's gotten involved, though. I don't know if he was – I know that they were saying, like, McDaniel's scheme calls for more of like a run-blocking tight end or whatever. But I think he was injured early in the season. And, like, now that he's back and playing, he's been playing well.
He was playing with 2 minutes left in a preseason game.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't fit that scheme, and I'd be shocked to see him back there next year. I really would.
He's good though.
He's very good. It's not a talent thing with him. It really is like it's a scheme thing.
Well, and that's what surprises me, right? You got a guy like Mike McDaniels. You look at him, and everybody looks at him as like an offensive guru. You don't trade a mismatch.
Right.
Like,
you found a way to get that involved.
Yeah, you figure out how to get him on the field.
And it seems like he might be.
Yeah.
Finally. But anyway, back to the Saints.
Yeah, back to the Saints. So now we come with a little hate, right?
Well, before we do the hate, I want to give praise when praise is due.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyron. He played to me what I thought was his best game of the season.
I tweeted something that was specifically for you. I don't know if you responded. I can't remember.
No, I told you I have y'all notifications on, but during the Saints game, it just gets lost.
Yeah. I said Teron's got our only 2 interceptions on the year. Just saying.
He does.
Just saying.
It might actually be our only 2 turnovers.
No, we forced some fumbles.
Did we?
Yeah, we forced some fumbles. I don't remember how many, but I know we forced at least one fumble. Fuck, I don't know. Now you mention it.
But no, shout out to Tyrod. He had a good game. Outside of the interception, I thought he was just active, more active than normal.
Yeah, he looks. Listen, I think that he's older, right? But I think that he's still better than people are giving him credit for. I'll watch the rest of the year. Maybe I'll see some shit I don't like, but I don't think he's been as bad as people have said. Has he had a slow step at times? Yeah. Has he tried to bait quarterbacks and gotten burned? Yeah. I think that's his game. Like, I don't know. That's just my take.
Is Alontae Taylor cornerback too?
Oh my God. Maybe. Probably. Is he cornerback 1?
Can he play a slot?
I don't know.
I'm not giving up on Debo yet. He's had a rough year to this point. But if I'd give him another chance and stick Alontae in the slot and see what happens. Although Chris Harris had a good game.
That defense looked good in general.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing what happens when the defensive line is getting pressure.
Yeah, that's another thought I had. Peyton Turner actually coming back and playing healthy.
Unbelievable.
Like, what? Where did that come from?
Unbelievable. And is you know what else is like Davenport just picks like a point in the year where it's like, you know what? Maybe it's time to turn it on.
Yeah, maybe I should show everybody why I was drafted so high.
It's crazy. It feels like we're gonna pay him. It feels like
I don't
he's
think
about
you
to
have
get
a
paid.
choice.
You're right.
You made the mistake of not paying other guys. You didn't pay Williams. You traded Chauncey, who's now leading the league in interceptions. Like,
yeah, the only one they didn't pay that I agreed with was Trey.
Yeah.
Because at that point they were choosing like 2 out of Trey, Lattimore, and Ramczyk.
Yeah.
They made you obviously go with Ram and Chase.
I agreed for more than one reason at the time. I thought Trey was a flash in the pan.
I did too. Oh, 100%.
I thought he was a sack vulture who got lucky. Or not lucky. I hate to say it that way. I thought he played well and he was in the right place at the right time a lot of the time. And I didn't think he would replicate that.
No.
And he has. He has. He looks good.
So, anyway, back to your hate.
Well, that was part of my hate. I was it was an easy transition. Was Chauncey's leading the league in interceptions. We traded him away. I kind of have to admit that I was wrong in a sense at this moment, at this point in time. Go. Sorry, these dogs are killing me. They're like biting each other.
Don't call
at my
PETA.
feet. I pat him on the butt. Now he's getting pets. But no, I kind of have to admit that I was wrong
About Chauncey.
About Chauncey, because I was like, he's not as good as people give him credit for. He brings swagger. He's solid.
I thought he was a very good nickel cornerback. I did not think he would be a good safety.
I didn't either. I thought he was an above average nickel corner who had a lot of bravado, and it made him look better than he actually was. I didn't think he was bad.
Yeah.
I would never say that.
To your defense, if you like, I don't know why it kept popping up on my Twitter, but like Eagles fans were not happy with him for
the first couple weeks.
Yeah. And then it seemed like once that one game happened where was that like 2 weeks ago where he had the 2 interceptions in a game?
Yeah.
Like now they love him.
Yeah, well, he's been balling out the last like 4 games.
Marcus Williams still has more interceptions than the Saints have on the season.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played since week 2.
That's funny. Not our starting safeties because Chauncey was a nickel, but, they both over ridiculous amount of interceptions. We have 2 on the year. From Tyron, who we replaced Marcus with, so, whatever. MT's hurt.
Yeah.
He's on IR. What are our thoughts? I kind of know your thoughts, and that's why I'm asking, because I want to have a conversation, and we'll see where it goes.
First and foremost, dude, that sucks. I feel so bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just honestly, the most frustrating thing is the fans that get on social media and just start shitting on him.
Call him a quitter.
Yeah, the stupidest thing you can say is that he doesn't want to get out there.
Yeah,
I said it earlier.
I don't agree with
we
that.
literally saw him foaming out of the mouth in week 1 in the in the Atlanta game because he's so competitive. And we've heard since day one he's got like that Jordan level competitiveness. So to think somebody like that doesn't want to be out there is crazy.
Yeah, it does blow my mind. I don't understand fan hate, and that, not to get off the Saints topic, but that also makes me think of like last night with Dyson Daniels missing 2 free throws. You got guys on Twitter like, cut him, he's terrible. Why do you have a rookie in at that moment? And it's like, are you guys fucking nuts? Like,
I'll give you my
fans
Pels. We'll talk Pels. I'll
fans
give you
are
Pels
stupid.
Thoughts.
We'll get into that. But no, as far as Michael Thomas goes, I agree. Like, to say that he quit on the team, like another one you see all the time is, oh, he got his contract and he mailed it in. The fuck he did. He got his contract and he had the best year of his career, and then he got hurt.
Right.
Like,
I said it. Sean ruined his career by having him out there in a meaningless game. Not meaningless, but with 2 minutes left or whatever it was in a game where we were winning. He shouldn't have been out there. And then he tried to rush back to get Drew a ring.
yeah.
And that, I mean, ultimately, I know it's not the same injury, but it hasn't been the same since. And I'm one of these people that always thinks, like, once you have one of them big injuries, these other ones kind of, it's like you're overcompensating almost, and it ends up leading to other things. The most frustrating thing is that this keeps happening with the medical staff. Like, it has to, they have to go.
See, I've seen that a lot too, and I don't know if I agree. And it's not because I have some expertise or anything, or like I just, when I look at it like this, and I'm not throwing MT under the bus because that's how this is gonna come out. They diagnosed Ramczyk immediately. They diagnosed Deontay immediately. Same injuries. What was different about Michael Thomas? What was different? In my opinion, and this is just an opinion, I think he wanted a second opinion, and maybe he drug it out a little bit. He's a competitor. He wants to play, which goes back to your point. Like, he's not quitting on the team. I don't think he's quitting on the team. I think, if anything, that might go to his detriment, where he's like, I don't know, let me go get a second opinion. I texted you earlier. Anyone, like, there's levels to turf toe, which actually I was reading today. Did he have turf toe or did he have a dislocated toe? Because I don't fucking know anymore.
They said, that's what I'm saying. They said turf toe, but now it turns out it's a dislocated toe.
Well, maybe you're right.
Somewhere along the way, I feel like more is going to come out about it. Like, obviously, everything we're saying now can completely change as we get more information. We're not waiting for more information. That's completely irrational.
No, fuck that. I want to be irrational now.
Right.
If it's turf toe, right? I was texting you earlier. There's like levels to it. If you're out like more than 4 weeks, typically you need surgery. If there's any reason you're out for more than 4 weeks with turf toe, there's not a person in history who has been like, oh, you know what, 4 weeks is up, cool, I'm better now. No, your shit's fucked up. You need surgery. Yeah. Like, it is what it is.
The weirdest thing about it is last week, the DA said he's gonna play again. So at some point, and somebody said on Twitter, like, why did Dennis Allen lie? And I honestly don't believe that he lied about it. Like, I think that everything is just such a shit show right now that's honestly what he thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he knows the backlash that comes with
absolutely.
With that. There's no way that he lied about that.
Absolutely. I mean, but his back's up against the wall there. Like, what do you say? He's going to say what he was told to say in the most like in most situations there. Like, if he says anything else, if he says, oh, I don't know, we'll see. Like, people are going to be like, what? Like, what the fuck you mean? It's been 6-7 weeks. Like, is he going to play or not?
But, like, everything he's said has been, they thought he was coming back. Like, a couple weeks ago, he said, they asked, when it ended up being 5 games, they were like, why didn't you put him on IR? And he said, we thought there was a chance it would be less than the IR length, so we didn't do it, which makes sense. It ends up not being, so whatever. But that makes it seem like you thought it would be maybe another week or 2 before he comes back, which then he says we expect him to play again, which still means you seem like you think he's going to play. And now all of a sudden it just changes. I just don't I've told you this before. I view DA as like a straight shooter for whatever reason. I get that vibe from him that I don't think he beats around the bush about things as much. And
I agree.
I take him for his word until I'm given a reason not to, which I guess maybe I'll never have proof of whether he,
No, so I just keep going back to, I'm thinking deeper now, right? I'm not blaming Michael Thomas. You can't control injury. right? Like I'm not saying he quit on the team or anything like that, but I am looking back and thinking, like he did try and play and win Drew a championship. It's his decision at the end of the day. Was he pressured into it? Probably. Every player's pressured into it. Antonio Brown was pressured into playing with a broken ankle last year, or whatever it was. Like everybody saw that. Like it happens. There was a whole disagreement in the offseason last year about he was supposed to rehab. He was supposed to get surgery. There was a disagreement between him and the team. He ended up missing the whole season because the story was he didn't do what he was told. Whatever story you believe, it doesn't matter. He didn't get surgery in the offseason.
I tend to trust the players.
That's fine.
Than organizations.
But like, there's a history.
He never
here.
gave his side of it.
He didn't. And like, who knows? But like, there's a history here of injuries, only with him, lasting a lot longer than you would think.
So this is the same medical staff that misdiagnosed Delvin Breaux.
It's not the same medical staff. It's a different staff.
They got a new head person. Mm-hmm. It's still the same staff.
Well, still Oshner, like
right, but it's just a new like head person, but it's still generally the same people.
Like
from what I understand,
it's easy to say that. Like you could throw a blanket over it and say that, but like it's been years. It's not. It's a different head person. I guarantee you they've replaced different cogs in that system. We want to look at that. Like the Delvin Breaux situation sucked. Like it sucked. He was misdiagnosed. It's unfortunate, right? That medical staff sucked. I can't. They made more than just that error. They made a couple errors back then.
Keenan Lewis?
Yeah.
They told Delvin Breaux he had a bruise.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm not giving that a pass at all, right? Like, I don't know, man. We could go down a rabbit hole with that.
I don't know. It's just, I mean,
it sucks. At the end of the day, it sucks because Michael Thomas wants to be on the field. He's not sitting there saying, "Oh, like I'm gonna milk this and then eventually go on IR." I guarantee that's not a thought.
He seems like the kind of person to hold a grudge, and if he at all feels like it's on the medical staff,
I think he would say it. He feels like that kind of person too.
It's only been like 6 hours. Watch his Twitter for the next couple days.
True. Well, here's the thing, and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the person I was talking about who cryptically tweets stuff. They tweeted a couple days ago that there was going to be news that came out shortly that was going to have people wanting to drive to the facility. I'm assuming this is what it was. So they've known.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, my whole reason for saying that is like, if he holds any kind of grudge, like you got to wonder if at this point he's like they mutually just agree to find a way to separate it.
I don't know how.
Well, so I think it was Kat Terrell said, so if they cut him or trade him, whatever, next year before the June 1st thing,
mm-hmm.
It's like a $25 million cap hit, which is not happening.
No.
But if it's post June 1st, I forgot what the first number was. I can pull it up. But his cap hit is only 11 point something, which is still crazy, but
it's still a lot of fucking money.
You can,
for a team that has dead cap,
yeah,
for years, like you don't want to add 11.5 mil onto that.
It just depends on where he's. I mean, and we won't know for a while, but like where he's at, like, relationship wise with the team. Like if it seems to be if it causes any drama at some point, you just kind of like you eat it.
Yeah,
you eat
for
the
sure.
the dead money and you move on. But I mean, I don't want him to. Like I'm still on the, because I said this earlier. Like, who's gonna trade for him? And even if they do, you're getting so little. It's like the Chauncey thing again. You're getting so little in return that at that point you hold him.
Barring some crazy story, you could not talk me into trading Michael Thomas.
I never. He is, and this is 100% an emotional reaction for me. That is my favorite Saints player of all time, is Michael Thomas. Like I do not want to see him on another team ever.
Yeah.
And I know if he comes back, it's gonna be a pillar of health, and he's gonna run the league again.
You know what sucks? Like what truly sucks, and the thing that, well, it's not getting lost in this because I'm sure somebody out there saying it and everybody's thinking it. This man has lost like 3 or 4 years of his prime.
His prime, yeah.
Like, he was
almost
dominant.
his whole prime, man.
He was so dominant.
I said it earlier, I replied to somebody's tweet about this because they said the same thing. Like 2017 to 2020, Mike was dominant, and I was like, that's the best receiver to ever wear a Saints uniform. That stretch of Mike Thomas is the best I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That includes Colston. That includes Joe Horn. I mean, like you name them. It doesn't matter.
It's not a long list, though.
No,
but
it's not. That's but I mean, it doesn't take much to get there. And he was only like 4,000 yards away from being like the all-time leader in reception. You know, he still leads the Saints in touchdowns.
Yeah. I was going to say there's lists where it's like, you know, since entering the league in whatever year and like top receiving yards, and he's still like number 2. Like, it's insane. Just how dominant he was.
Yeah. I don't like at this moment. Something feels like we've seen the last of him. I'll be honest with you. I wonder if he starts thinking about retiring. He's a competitor, so he probably won't. Like that, he's that level of competitor where he probably doesn't. But at some point, somebody might be in his ear. Like he's got Keyshawn.
Yeah, but
to be like, hey man, it's.
I agree, but I think if it was a different injury.
Like a more serious injury.
Yeah, I don't think like a dislocated toe. Like, yeah, it sucks, and it's
like if it was the
nagging
ankle again.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's gotta be a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he doesn't. Whether it's for us or somebody else. Like, I want to see Michael Thomas play football again.
Yeah.
Because when he was playing this year, it's like he didn't miss a beat.
No, he was phenomenal. He was insane
man.
When he came back.
That's what this all boils. I just want to see Michael Thomas play.
I want to see him healthy, play football for a whole season, and shut up everybody.
Yeah, and honestly, if he plays for somebody else and just goes off on the Saints, I'll live with it. Like, there's nothing Michael Thomas could do. I think that, like, as far as this situation, that would make me not be a huge Michael Thomas fan.
I could think of a few things, but we don't have to go there because it's all hypothetical and it's not real. Just like birds.
As long as he doesn't end up wearing black and red, we're good.
I didn't want to go there.
But you know what?
There's a picture in my head. If this motherfucker scores a touchdown.
Love Joe Horn, so
if he scores a touchdown in black and red and like flips off our sideline, like pulls some Jeremy Shockey shit. Not that was, black and red, but like you can kick rocks, buddy.
He ends up in
neither here nor there.
He ends up in LA with Sean.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. They can have Taysom too. All right. What else we got? You said you had some fun stuff. Let's break it up.
Let's see what I got.
I got a fun thing too. If you don't want to go into yours.
I saw this going on Twitter the other day. You remember growing up, you used to wear basketball shorts under your jeans?
I do. Yeah.
Like, so I saw people tweeting about how, we used to wear basketball shorts under our jeans and stuff like that. Do kids not do that anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know what my son does. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what he wears. He just stinks all the time. That's all I know. Love you, buddy. Sorry.
It blew my mind. Like, the way people were talking, it was like it was a thing that doesn't happen anymore.
I don't know.
And I just
love the jokes about that, like as if I was ready to drop 20 at any given moment. Like, it fucking.
Well, I think for me, it was always like you'd go to PE, just be like, bam.
Yeah, that's what
school
it was.
School pants off, school shorts off, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't have to change.
We're going to get buckets.
Yeah. That's all it was for me, so I didn't have to change. Now, looking back, that's fucking disgusting. You get all sweaty playing basketball in PE. You wipe yourself off. You spray some.
I think one year I had like a second hour PE, and it was the most miserable experience of my life.
Jeez, man.
Just musty for the next 4 or 5 hours of the day.
I don't know if I ever got musty, but I tell you what, I would walk into classrooms just smelling like straight Brute.
Oh, man.
Do you ever wear Brute?
No.
Jesus Christ, man. You walk in smelling like a barbershop. Like, it just smells like baby powder and, like, I can't even explain the smell. Like an old school barbershop smell. I didn't wear Axe body spray, but, man, I would smell up a classroom with some Brute cologne or aftershave or whatever it was.
No, it's another thing that I have to ask my little brother if that's still a thing. My little brother's 13, 14, so I have to find out if that's.
I could ask my son. He's 13.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out because if not, it's going on the list of things we used to do as kids that aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah, along with riding our bikes.
I got one.
Does anybody ride a bike anymore? Like teenagers?
Yeah, I see them around my neighborhood all the time. Yeah,
my son's friends do not like they. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I got one more little topic. It's football related, so I'm gonna just drop it in here.
What you got?
Have you seen any clips of the Kelsey's new podcast?
No. Nope.
So the other day, Jason
Mhm.
Kelsey was saying that cornerback is the hardest position.
I did see this
in
one
football
clip. Yeah.
because they don't even let white people do it.
Yeah.
There's a white cornerback in the NFL. His name is Troy Apke.
No.
Don't know who he plays for. He came in, I was reading it earlier. He came in the league in 2021.
No.
He is the first white cornerback in the NFL since 2003.
This is made up. This guy doesn't exist. Who is this guy? How do I
Troy
not know this
Apke, Apke.
All right, hold on. Troy.
First white cornerback since Jason Sehorn in 2003.
Oh my
2003.
God. Troy.
That's
Steven
pre-Katrina.
This man's 27. He a special teamer? What the hell does he do? Ain't no way he's an
He
actual
came in the
cornerback.
league as a safety, and they converted him to cornerback.
No. You know who he plays for? I know who he plays for. I just looked it up.
Was it the Browns?
No. The
No.
Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
So, there you go. There you go. Take that with a grain of salt.
I did see the picture of him now. Just saying that of him in the Commanders jersey. He was wearing white sleeves, so maybe that's why nobody realized he was in
He's
the
got a helmet
league.
on and long
Yeah.
white sleeves on underneath. Nobody knows. Good way
That
to
dude-
disguise yourself, buddy.
And I mean, it makes sense because for the life of me, I could not have told you a white cornerback, obviously, because there was none. But
Yeah.
2003,
Yeah.
you're telling me that not once did somebody just slip through the cracks?
Listen, the Kelseys aren't wrong.
No.
Like I have not I have not met, not to get racial on you, I have not met a white guy who is athletic enough to play corner at any level.
Apparently, there's one
Any
at
level.
Iowa right now that's legit. Iowa's got like the best defense in football. Also, the second worst offense in football. There's been, I want to say, I read this the other day. There was 4 games that in regulation didn't have a touch, or 4 games this year in college football that didn't have a touchdown
Mhm.
because this might happen in Miami, Virginia Tech the other day, and 3 of them are Iowa.
Yeah, I can see that. I have a buddy who's an Iowa fan.
I was listening to the Dan Levitard show, and he bet the line on Iowa's offense on Iowa's points was 9.5. He bet the under. They scored 10.
I can't wait.
It's like one of the best defenses in history, but their offense is awful. They had a game, I think we talked about this before, where they had like 7 points, and it wasn't a touchdown. It was 2 safeties and a field goal.
That's Iowa football, man. It's not new. It's been like that
No,
for
I
a couple
know.
years. What's funny is I think I saw something a long time ago because USC is going to be in their division, right? Like USC's joining. What's Iowa in? The Big 10? Big 12? I don't know what the hell they're in.
Yeah, I don't know where USC's going.
Sorry, guys. But no, USC is gonna have to travel to Iowa at some point. So you're gonna have this West Coast team that's used to playing in sunny California,
Yeah.
going and playing in the snow, losing 6-3. It's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's all I got. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's go down. Let's continue down that track. Not Tulane. I bet you're thinking Tulane because we're
I was
talking college
literally
football.
about to say roll wave.
Yeah, well, roll wave. You're right.
We skipped them last week.
We did skip them last
They
week.
didn't play, so this
Yeah,
week.
they did. They play this week. They play Tulsa. The Drillers. You better drill the Drillers. Remember those banners in
yo.
high school? Did you
Drill the drillers.
Do you remember in high school when did you play high school football?
Yeah.
Do you remember all the corny sayings they would come up with every week for?
Yeah, you don't realize that Fox 8 still does them for the Saints like every week?
Do they really? I don't watch Fox
Or at
8.
least they used to.
I think I
Years ago.
remember vaguely.
They'd put it into like a vote on Facebook and Twitter of what we should do. And it's literally the same kind of stuff.
Pluck the Falcons.
Yeah, pluck the Falcons.
Jesus.
And they'd go through all that. The cheerleaders would go through all that to make a banner just for everybody to run through in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I loved it. Fucking love it.
Oh, man.
I miss high schoal football, man. Those are my glory days. No, I was gonna ask something fun, and then we can get back to Tulane. You already picked your team. I can announce my team. The XFL's back.
Oh, yeah.
They announced the team names. They announced the colors and the logos. They haven't showed anything more than that, or any secondary logos or any of that. What team are you going with?
The Vegas Vipers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Why?
Red's my favorite color, number 1.
Okay.
Outside of the Falcons, the red and black combo is like elite.
Blech.
It's elite.
Okay.
Vegas again. I got the Knights. I have no ties to Vegas. I have the Knights, so figure I stick with Vegas. And if I remember right, there was an XFL team in the original XFL that was the Vipers. I feel like there was a yellow and green team named the Vipers, but I don't remember.
Probably. It's slipping me. It sounds familiar.
And I remember I used to go. We used to play football in my front yard, and I remember I made a T-shirt. It was like I had number 7 on it, and I did it in like the yellow and green Viper thing.
Yeah.
Because of them. There was a team somewhere named the Vipers.
What? So I was looking up the team names, right? I kind of did the same route. I was looking at like location. I was looking
feel
at
like
colors.
most people go based off of location. Like one of these Texas teams is going to be the local favorite.
Yeah, I picked a Texas team. I'll be honest with you. Do you want to guess which one I picked?
There's 3 of them.
Are there 3? There are 3. I'm only thinking of 2 right now.
Houston.
No.
No?
I went San Antonio.
Okay. I figured you didn't go Arlington.
No, I'm going San Antonio Brahmas. The colors.
Yeah, you know what? That was my second choice.
Yeah.
I figured it was the Brahma Bulls. I thought it was pretty cool with the red.
That's the same reason I did that. And then I've never been to San Antonio, but I've been to Austin, and I have a buddy who lives in San Antonio, and I fucking love the food out that way. Like just the tacos, the whatever cuisine they have out there. I don't want to call it Mexican food because it's kind of Tex-Mex, but whatever. It's phenomenal. So yeah, that's my vibe.
I've thought about doing that because I was like, if the XFL lasts and I actually ever want to go to a game, it would be one of those.
Yeah.
But nope, I'm going with Vegas.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to get some merch, which I plan on, it's going to be the red and the black, which I like.
Well, you did bring up something interesting. You said the words Arlington, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a cool bowl game out that way coming up at the end of the year. It's the Cotton Bowl. The Tulane Green Wave will be playing in the Cotton Bowl. So let's talk about Tulane.
Roll away.
Did you know? Here's a fun fact.
No, I didn't. I don't know what you're about to say, but no, I probably
Let me see if I wrote it down so I don't get this wrong. Okay, Tulane has this is not what I was thinking, but Tulane currently has the strongest resume for G5 teams. First of all, Tulane also has more SEC titles than like 7 of the current SEC schools. Did you know that?
Nope.
Let me find that tweet. Like more than like Arkansas, more than like fucking like powerhouse SEC schools that you would be like, what? Like how the fuck does Tulane have more titles? Yeah, roll wave.
Roll wave.
Yeah. Fucking Michael Pratt is nominated right now for the Davey O'Brien Award.
What's
so
that?
It's the like quarterback of the year, basically. It's like a quarterback-driven award.
Okay.
Look it up. It's on Twitter. Go like the picture, retweet it.
Okay.
Michael Pratt, roll wave.
I won't say anything negative.
What?
I won't say anything negative about it.
Oh man, why?
I love Michael Pratt.
He doesn't deserve the fucking award. Let's be real. I love Michael Pratt.
Listen,
he's got moxie.
dude is a gamer. If gamer is in the dictionary, Michael Pratt's name is next to it.
Yeah.
But I want to be as fair as I can possibly be about.
I don't know if it's like a top quarterback. Let's read what the Davey O'Brien Award is. Dave O'Brien Award. I might even be fucking saying this wrong.
It is like as much shit as I've given Jaden Daniels, like he would deserve that over Michael Pratt.
You're probably right. You know what really pisses me off though? This is the time of the show where we just hate on LSU. All right. So if you don't want to listen to this, turn it off.
Top 10.
Come back in 5 minutes. First of all, yeah, that's not what I was going to get at. How is LSU 10? 15, I get it. 10, no. Second of all, now that LSU is top 10,
if they beat Bama,
listen.
They're
this top 10
the
ranking
SEC West.
This top 10 ranking is going to some of these LSU fans' heads because I'm watching guys on Twitter compare your boy Jaden to fucking, now I can't even think of names, Alabama's quarterback. They're like, is he really that much better?
No.
And I'm like, yes, he's fucking 10 times better. Like,
yeah. I mean, running wise, Jaden Daniels is an elite runner. Like he can run. Passing the ball, he's nothing to write home about.
No. But so the
But he's
thing
a
is,
good college quarterback.
Here's the thing: they pulled up and compared their numbers for this year. Their passing, well, they're all their numbers, and Jaden Daniels has better numbers right now.
Well, Bama's not. I mean, they're good, but they're not Bama. Like they have not been the Alabama that you've been used to. Like they're not dominant. And Bryce, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Alabama football. I don't watch a lot of LSU football, but. Michael Pratt, best quarterback.
I know. I'm trying to read this. I still don't.
Probably name 5, 6, 7, 8 better.
I still don't know what the fuck the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback Award is. It says National Quarterback Award, but like
maybe it's like a group of 5.
it might be Davey O'Brien.
I could believe that, but even then, there's probably a couple that I don't even know about.
He's a 2002 nominee, so. Bryce Young's also a nominee, who's the person I was just talking about.
You know what? Shout out Mike. I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah, Michael Pratt. Yeah, it's literally every top quarterback. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, Devin Leary. I think they just probably took I think they probably took every fucking quarterback that's in the top 25 and just threw them on that
Michael
list.
Pratt. Hey,
it's got to be.
Shout out Michael Pratt.
Tyler Van Dyke's on here.
Well, he shouldn't be either.
The U is back, baby. No, kudos to the U though for I know they're you guys are going through some shit for pulling some recruits.
Oh yeah, no, the one thing Mario can do is recruit. Can't coach for shit, but he can recruit.
Recruiting his ass off. What was the number 2 guy in the nation? He's a cornerback, but
yep.
Number 2 guy in the nation.
Stole him from Florida. Florida recorded. It was his birthday, and they thought they were getting him. Like they were told they were getting him, so they recorded like videos of them wishing him happy birthday, the coach, like the recruiting leaders and everything. Did a whole happy birthday video to him, and then he came to Miami.
Love it. It's like the LSU.
Dude, they said, so I listened to Miami like podcasts, and they said that like his whole like group of guys that he was with at his recruiting thing, where he did his reveal, whole group showed up in Florida gear. Like they don't think he told anybody that he was going.
I love it.
And it just like they said he had the video of it, of him doing it, is the second time he did it. Because he was like, people were supposed to get up and talk about him and everything and give like, just give him a little shout out. And he was supposed to talk a little bit. And he just got up there and said, I'm going to Miami, and put the hat on. And they were expecting him to like throw the hat and do something. And he's just like, nah, I'm going to Miami.
I love it. I love it because it's a swerve. I'm a sucker for a good swerve.
Mario can recruit. And you know what? I mean, I don't want to talk too much about Miami because nobody really gives a shit besides me.
That's all right.
People are like, not even like people around here, because constantly the national college football world just loves to shit on Miami because, what they were.
Yeah,
but like Miami fans are like saying he's a failure already and everything because the season hasn't gone as planned. Which you got bad losses. Like regardless of like talent level, you should not lose. In no world should Miami lose to Duke, Middle Tennessee. Like that should not happen. But at the same time, like he has to get his players in here. Like they're already saying at the end of the year, they're going to lose so many players, Miami, to the transfer portal because these dudes do not want to. Like his practices are apparently insane. Like, and he literally said, if you can't handle it, leave. So he's built, like he came in to change the culture, and it's going to take, you got to give a coach like 3 or 4 years to get his classes in.
I agree. Unless you're, never mind. I'm going to not take another shot at LSU. We're not going to do that.
You know what? And I'll say, I mean, LSU is a little different. Like LSU's talent is above Miami's. Like right now,
trying not to get back into LSU, but yeah.
Well, I want to be fair. Like their talent is above Miami's, and honestly, they should be able to get the same level of talent year in year. Miami should be able to get better talent than they've gotten over the last however many years. Like those two teams should be able to get whoever they want in their states.
Well, there's so many schools in Florida and that recruit in Florida, right? Like I think you could say the same thing about there's so many schools that recruit in like the Gulf Coast and Texas, but I don't know. LSU's got a stranglehold on Louisiana specifically. Yeah. It feels like.
Miami also stole a running back from LSU.
That's fair.
the biggest thing with Miami isn't necessarily losing recruits to Florida and Florida State. I mean, losing Miami recruits to those schools is a big deal. Like, you should be able to – that's why Miami was good back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody left Miami. But the problem was Saban was coming in, taking Miami kids, taking Florida kids. Like, if you lose Florida kids to Florida State and Florida, like, it is what it is, you know. But if you're losing Florida, like, you're letting kids in Florida get out of Florida and go to Bama all the way across the country to USC, like, that can't happen anymore. And that's what's changing.
Right. Well, you need Curtis Johnson is what you need.
Do I?
Yeah. See, you don't. I'm surprised you didn't just latch on to that. Do you know why I mentioned Curtis Johnson's name? Tulane great Curtis Johnson.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints
great.
wide receiver coach Curtis Johnson, or former. He was the guy that was in Miami and recruited the likes of Ed Reed, Jonathan Vilma, all those classes. He was one of the main recruiters at that time. Did a phenomenal job building that team. So when I think of Miami and recruiting, I think of him. Now, granted, that's not the teams of, like, you know, Ken Dorsey.
Right. Shout out Ken Dorsey. He doesn't
Shout
get
out
enough,
Ken Dorsey. That's why I said his name. He was like, who could I pick from that team?
He doesn't get enough love.
But yeah, you know, he did a great job recruiting there. So
we're at an hour already, and we ain't even touched on.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to ask you where we're at. Tulane Green Wave, Roll Wave. We can get out of that. Ranked number 19. They would be in the college football playoff if it was 2026, starting today. Anyways,
it's okay that this pod goes long because the next possibly short. 2 might be.
Let's jump into Pelicans talk because there is some shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
First and foremost, I would like to say the world is not coming to an end.
Okay.
Because the Pelicans lost a game to the Lakers without
fucking Mike.
2 starters. And, you know, the overreaction on Twitter was unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. Some of the things people were saying, like,
let's do it with my hands.
This whole Willie Green is not a good coach thing. I don't like it. I mean, I don't think he's the best coach in the league, but he's a good coach. He's a good coach. I don't think it's debatable. Like, his knock is he's too loyal to vets at times, I think. Or he's too loyal to certain lineups at times. Like, I don't think he makes, besides the Herb decision.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I say that, but so, like, at the end of the game, you got, I think he kept Devontae and CJ in together. He does that too long for my liking. And this is not a knock on Devontae because, unlike other people, I think Devontae's had a solid year for us.
Yeah. He's giving good minutes.
But the 2 of them together is not great. So at the end of the game, like in clutch time, like, I'd rather see Jose or Dyson there with CJ for the defense. I mean, he makes questionable lineup decisions at times, but at the same time, he's without BI. He's without Herb. Like, he was without Zion. Like, he hasn't had all his guys to figure out his lineups. We're in Game 7.
Right. That's kind of how I feel. Like, it's insane to me. I get questioning lineups, questioning why certain people are on the floor at certain times, but, like, there's been a lot of, and it's Twitter, right? Like, people on Twitter are nuts. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter, like, just almost like degrading the man over his lineups, like just like killing the man. It's like, dude, it's Game 7. You've gone through injuries. You're just figuring out what works right now.
Unless it's one of these teams that have had the same players, like the Celtics or maybe the Heat, or like all these teams that have been together for a while, like have a core that have played together consistently for a few years.
Right.
Like every team in the league is still figuring. The Lakers are doing it. I mean, the Lakers suck, but they're literally toying with lineups too.
Well, and that's another thing, right? Like, a lot of people want it. People are, when you lose a game, people want to place blame. People want to place blame, and people will never blame the players collectively.
Right.
They'll blame a coach. They'll blame one player. They'll blame something random. They'll pick out something. Oh, he shouldn't have played Jax. He should have played Willie, which maybe he should have. But, Dyson shouldn't have been at the end of the game. Why do you have a rookie taking free throws? Well, that rookie played phenomenal the whole game.
Also, he hadn't missed a free throw all year.
Yeah, he got that
Granted,
rebound.
he's only played one game.
Whatever.
He was 100%.
He got that rebound to put himself in position to go to the line for those free throws. A rebound, by the way, that other people weren't fucking boxing out to get.
Yeah.
Najee Marshall didn't box out for 5 straight possessions. That's why they kept getting the loose balls.
I don't care whether you're a rookie or not. You have to hit one of those free throws.
You do.
You have to. But
it is what it is. Like,
right.
It is what it is. You also have to not let the ball get all the way across the fucking court to the corner for a wide open shot. Like, well, it wasn't wide open. It was pretty contested, but it is what it is. Like,
but and then at the same time, we're focusing on the last 4 minutes of the game.
Right.
That first half was and this is for both teams. That was the worst basketball.
It was terrible.
Oh my god, that was the worst basketball I've ever seen.
And that's what I'm getting at as far as like you want to place blame. You look for blame when you lose. If you want to place blame, you look at the effort. You look at the defense. You look at how stagnant we were on offense for the first half of that game. We were terrible. We looked flat. There was a comment from someone a couple days ago saying, "Oh, the Pelicans have been out partying. They're going to come out flat." And everybody was like, "Oh, did you see them partying?" After that first half, I was like, "Well, fuck, maybe they were partying."
I was wondering if the Lakers were with them.
I was like, "What are we watching?"
Yeah, that was ugly, man. That was awful. Yeah, it's just just a bad game.
Yeah, you turn the ball over way more than you should.
And I can tell you, there's going to be a time when we have every player that we have on our roster healthy, and we're going to see another one of those.
Yeah, guess what? You got 82 games.
Yeah.
You don't go 82-0. Like this, and as much as I love this team, we're not the 72-9 Warriors or whatever. 72-9? I don't remember what they finished.
I don't know.
Either way, we're not even the fucking Bulls. Like, we're not that good. We're good. We ain't that good.
Right. Like, and I'll be honest, that game didn't change a single opinion about how I feel about the team.
No, not at all.
Maybe if everybody was healthy and it looked bad, but even then, I'm probably like, eh.
Well, I felt bad throughout the game because I hate thinking what if, right? I'm watching that game, and the entire game, the Lakers are daring us to take a mid-range shot. The entire game. Yeah. And while I'm watching that in the back of my head, I'm like, man, there's a guy at home right now that would be feasting from mid-range. Ain't no goddamn way you be leaving them shots open if Brandon Ingram's in that game.
Yeah, I mean, you know what the game really proves, and honestly, the last couple, even though we won some, like, if there was ever a doubt whose team this is.
Yeah, it's true. Right now, at least, for sure.
Yeah.
It may change one day, but
I can tell you it's not happening this year.
No.
Like, he's like, I saw somebody say it, and it's so true. He's like the calming presence on the team.
You could see CJ try and do it, and CJ actually did a really good job of it.
He does.
He did a really good job of it. I was a little upset, and this is just one play. I was a little upset at the end of the game that he didn't even look to pass. He took that contested three, just like, fuck it, this is my shot.
When we went to the game, both of us, when he took a couple of those to like at the end of the Utah game, we both were like, no, don't do that. And then they went in. He does play hero ball a little bit from time to time. But at the same time, like, B.I.'s out because B.I. was out for that too. Like, who else you want?
The whole time, you got to find a way. You got to, and this is going to sound like I'm passing blame back to coaching, right? You got to find a way to get Trey Murphy an open look from three. Yeah. At some point. He had 1 3 the whole game, and it was not a great look.
There was other times where he was open, like when they had that 5-on-3. And
Zion forced it against the three, which I don't hate. I don't hate.
To be fair, CJ had Trey sitting wide open in the corner and went to Zion instead.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me started on Zion. I'm starting to have questions.
He went right multiple times.
Twice.
And he finished.
Twice.
It is what it is.
I'm starting to have questions.
Well,
can he go right?
It's been 7 games.
No, this is a Zion thing that is more than 7 games. Is he blind in whatever eye it would require, like his left eye? Like, is he blind? Can he not see to over his left shoulder?
I think he's just not comfortable doing it yet, to be honest. Like,
you know what? And I wasn't. I was not. I mean, I was always bothered by it, but he said something a couple days ago, and it makes me a little more bothered by it.
Respectfully.
When they asked him something about, and I don't even remember what the question was, but his answer was, "I'm gonna always get the shot I want." Respectfully, that means he thinks the shot that he could get is that left-handed layup every time.
I guarantee you. Oh, I don't guarantee you, but I would assume he doesn't think that the shot he wants is that little flip from 9 feet out.
Sure the hell seems like
ain't no goddamn way he thinks that
just go right. Like, my God. I was yelling at good thing we did not record during that game because, it might have been hilarious reactions.
Yeah.
But I'm literally I don't get worked up like that over basketball games. But I'm like.
I think there was a little more juice because it was the Lakers, to be honest. Like,
It's. I mean, but this has been building up inside of me for so long now. It's just, he's there. The lane to his right is open.
Yeah.
Go right, like, and I see other people finally on Twitter starting to point it out. Like, if I'm seeing it, they're seeing it.
Yeah. You think that. I think that all the time. When we're watching Saints games or anything, things will happen, and my wife will be sitting right next to me, and I'll say something, and she'll like be like, "Well, how do you?" or whatever. Like, she'll ask me a question. I'll be like, "Listen, if I'm sitting at home and I've never played in the NFL, and I can clear as day see what the fuck is going on, that head coach or that coordinator better see it too. Like, there ain't no.
I mean, maybe
damn
they
way.
don't say anything about it because at the end of the day, he ends up with 20 and whatever every time. But somebody has to be seeing that and being like, Zion.
Yeah.
They're giving you
They see
the
it.
right.
They see it.
Like, come on. Like, go. It's so frustrating. I told you I was going to work on this article, and I still might, but now we're getting to more games, which requires me to watch more. Like, it's a lot of work now. But I did watch the Nets game.
Yeah.
And the way I was doing it was I'm not looking at when he gets the ball at the top of the key and goes into the lane, because I have no problem with him going left end, because I think 9 times out of 10 he beats anybody off the line.
I think that's another thing. They got to find ways to get him.
I will say,
the ball.
last night he took a 3. He took a couple middies.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
No, do it every game.
Yeah, I don't. And that's like the Ben Simmons approach, right? Like, what I hate the most about Ben Simmons and the way he plays is that he doesn't fucking try.
Right.
Just do it. You can go over 8. I don't care.
If they fall,
take it.
If that mid range fell once, they're gonna respect you. Like,
they did.
Take it.
They did.
LeBron pulled up a little closer.
he took one.
I'll be honest. LeBron was scared to death.
He was. He switched off of him too because he was getting his ass beat. But he took one. He took that shot and he made it. The very next possession, they left him open again.
What's uglier, Jonas' 3 or Zion's midi?
I think Zion's midi because it's flat.
Jonas has the best pump fake I think I've ever seen in the history of basketball.
Oh my god, it looks like a travel every time. But it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. His shot though, he like throws his whole body into it, and he like flicks. It's like a.
It's so crazy.
So weird looking, man.
But anyway, so like going back to it, I'm not counting him getting the ball at the top of the key and going downhill to the left, because I'm fine with that. Like, if he can find a way to pull somebody out to him, it's over. Like, if they're within 2 feet of him, it's ball game.
Oh yeah.
Like, what I was looking at was when he catches the ball in the post with his back to the basket, or if he backs in, if he catches the ball and puts his back to the basket.
Yeah.
14 or 13 times he did it in the Brooklyn game. 9 out of 13 he went left and finished with his left. This is on ones he missed also. 9 out of 13 he went left and finished left. 4 he went right and passed out of it every single time. Every single time.
Because I don't think he's comfortable going right now. And I
go right and finish with your left.
It's funny. I think someone said it, but it's funny because the one thing we learned from the Stan Van Gundy Pelicans was that Zion Williams at his best attacking downhill, attacking from like the top of the lane or whatever, like on the move. Do not post him up. You can post him up, but like only in a mismatch.
AD was saying it in the broadcast a lot too, like getting more down, Zion attacking.
Get him attacking. Like, there ain't no reason you need to post him up unless he's got a guard on him or something. Like,
point Zion was one of the best things we've seen.
And you don't have to do it the whole game.
No, I don't understand why it's like there's lineups where he is the guy, and there's no reason he shouldn't be the one initiating.
And he's standing in the corner.
Like, we don't need Devontae and Najee initiating offense.
Najee has balled out this year. I want to give him a lot of credit, but there is no reason he should be, like you said, initiating the offense when you have Zion on the floor, standing
Zion
in the corner,
initiate
doing nothing.
The offense. And even when you got Bi and CJ in, there's times like if Zion showed us anything, his vision and his passing is elite. Because when he forces these terrible spins to the left and he's 3 feet under the basket, he somehow finds an outlet pass.
I don't know how those passes get out.
I don't know. It's amazing.
And they're hot.
They're hot. The first thing smoking.
Screaming. I'm like, God damn. Like,
right. Like, let him do it. Let him run the offense. It'll get CJ open looks. It'll get Devontae open looks. It's going to get Trey. Like, everybody, it's gravity.
Oh, yeah. AD says it all the time, gravity. No, you're not wrong. Like, anytime you see him, even in the post-up game, when you give it to him in the post, there's 4 people in the paint. Like, if you want to post up, just make Zion a passer.
Yeah.
Make him look to pass. But, like, I don't know. It's neither I mean, listen, he does have to grow his game a little bit, but as a coach, you also have to protect him. You coach him up in the areas that he needs to be coached up in, but you also get him in positions to do what he's good at. And right now, he's good at attacking downhill. So dribble handoffs, let him be points on, whatever it is. Motion. Whatever it is.
Yeah, get him the ball in motion, and then the other thing, like you said, you got to get Trey more open looks. Trey should be taking 7-8 threes a game.
I agree.
At least.
I agree.
7-8 threes a game. If he misses all of them, I don't care. Take a ninth one.
Yeah. You keep shooting.
Yeah.
Fuck. Who was it? All these things are slipping me. It's not good for the podcast. If I'm trying to talk about something I don't know. There was a shooter a long time ago. He used to play for the Cavaliers. He went fucking 0 for some ridiculous number, and they're like, "Did you ever think to stop shooting?" He was like, "No, why would I do that?" It's like if I stop shooting, that means I'm scared to shoot.
Yeah. Well, see, you saw it with Jose. Jose airballed that 1-3, and he came right back down, and Jose caught fire.
He did. He did catch fire, and people were upset they took him out of the game, but I think it's tough because you're so small in that lineup. The only one they took Devontae out too. The only one they left on the floor was CJ at the time, and you still couldn't rebound. But that's what I was getting at.
I think they had the right lineup in at the end of the game there.
Yeah.
Well, I did see somebody else point out that was the perfect moment to have Jackson put Jax guarding the inbounder.
Yeah. Oh, at the very end?
Yeah.
On that 3-point play?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think hindsight, there's a lot of things you do differently there, right?
You
give up the paint.
I understand what you're saying. The ball shouldn't have gotten there in the first place. But even once it did, Trey that's just a hell of a shot, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it shouldn't have gotten there in the first place. That's the biggest. If you watch, there's a moment where literally every defender is in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
But so that, obviously that's terrible. But at the same time, that's just the dude pumped. Trey was there, and it's the new closeout rules force him to stand to the side. He's faded out of bounds. It's like the Kawhi shot that sent him to the.
It was a good shot, man. He made a tough shot.
I knew as soon as he caught it, that bitch was going in.
Yeah, I was like, this motherfucker.
Honestly, once Dyson missed the free throws, I was like, that's it.
I thought we had a game one. I even tweeted something saying whew, thank God we pulled this one out. Nope, sure the fuck didn't. I was wrong.
Yeah, I think. The last thing on this, I guess, because an hour and 15. I don't care. Whatever. We can keep going. My biggest takeaway is the Jax minutes have to end. The Jackson Hayes, and I know me and you have been on the same page with Jackson.
Yeah.
It's been this long and he ain't figured nothing. I have not seen him improve in any area of his game.
You know what though? Yes. Yes. But we have. I want to play devil's advocate for a second. He does this shit every year. And he is incrementally better right now at the start of the year than he was last year. You see him start pretty poorly, right? Where it's just he has no idea what the fuck he's doing on the court. He doesn't know where to stand. He doesn't know how to box out. He has no idea what's going on.
Dude is 6'10" and can jump out the gym and can't get a rebound. For the love of me, I don't understand.
I don't get it. He also he brings the ball to his fucking waist every single time he grabs it. He gets blocked by guards on regular. Either way, doesn't matter. He always does this to start the season, and then randomly in the middle of the year, he strings together 15 good games, and it's holy shit!
I'm not here for it anymore.
He's solid. That's the Jax we want, and you expect him to take a leap from that, and that never happens.
The best thing I think you can hope for right now is he has 1 or 2 games so that you can get him out of here.
I'm on board with.
Because
him out,
you know what it is for me is there's somebody behind him that deserves a chance to get his minutes.
Willie?
Yeah, he deserves a chance. He had an awesome offseason.
Mm-hmm.
He had a great preseason.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot be any worse than Jax is. It literally cannot be worse. Jax gives you nothing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe when he plays his good games, sure. That's why somebody say that Jax should play because he gives you the possibility of an exciting dunk and can give you some momentum. Please.
You know how many players on the team you have that can do that?
Jesus Christ. Get this man out of my face.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
And then Willie, he was on Instagram or Twitter, he's liking tweets that say free Willie and this and that. And he...
That's only upsetting.
I'm not mad at him because the dude just had his best offseason of his career. He feels like he deserves minutes.
Right.
And when you're sitting there watching Jackson Hayes play and you're not getting any run at all,
it's
come on, man. Especially when you're down 2 guys.
I'm okay with Willie getting the run. I think he's earned it, but
I'm not asking for 20
I-
minutes a game. You know what I mean? It's
is Willie going to come in and be a difference maker? Like, no. But
I don't know. But he can. My whole argument is he cannot be worse than Jackson.
his
is.
floor is higher than Jackson's for sure.
Absolutely.
Like way higher.
And worse, I mean, he comes in and balls. If he plays somewhat well, maybe you can get rid of him, or move him. He's happier
I
because
like
he gets.
Willie, man.
Me too, but he's happier because he gets to play.
Yeah.
You get something of. They need an. Do you agree with me now that their biggest need is another big?
Yeah. Well, I think the problem
I don't think
is,
you ever disagreed with me.
I don't.
But
I think the problem is even if you get another big, it's got to be the right big because their biggest problem right now is they go small ball.
Yeah.
They're doing it intentionally. Like they have bigs they can put on the floor, but they're going small ball and they're getting out rebounded. You're playing Larry and Zion together, and the guards aren't boxing out, so people are crashing and getting all the loose balls, the one bounce rebounds because Larry and Zion aren't the best rebounders. Like, and those are your two bigs in the game. Like last night, and I've been talking up Najee multiple times, but I said it earlier. The end of that game, that stretch, the last couple minutes where you kept seeing those loose balls go the other way, a lot of the times it was because Najee's just fucking standing around.
yeah, that one on the free throw where Pat Bev managed to come from the 3-point line and get it is inexcusable.
That's Najee. Najee didn't even find him.
Although Zion might have had one of the most athletic rebounds I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where he just from a standing position just out leaps Braun?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Dude.
Yeah.
That I don't think I've ever tweeted about a rebound before.
Dude, that Dyson Daniels rebound at the end of the game was
He's so good.
that was a strong rebound.
Missed free throws aside.
When he stripped LeBron, how hype were you?
Oh,
I was hype. I know it's LeBron's and it's this rookie who I'm
Dude,
high
there's
on
gonna
it. Like seeing I'm like fuck it.
I'm
like,
imagining
dude,
some lineups with him, Jose, and Herb and Trey at the same time. That's hell.
yeah.
That's just hell. Like, I don't know where the offense. I mean, I don't know where the offense comes from in that lineup. But if you need to shut that last possession
yeah.
for the Lakers, you have no need for offense. You could have rolled out Trey.
Who do you play with that lineup? I'm trying to think of that. Do you play Larry? I think you play Larry with that lineup.
You just go full small ball and put Zion in.
I don't think you could play Zion with that lineup. You could, but I don't know if it.
So let's see. You got Jose to run point.
I think you play Larry.
Herb is a.
The problem is at that
Dyson's
point
big. Dyson can be a 3-4.
you don't have a true like. I think it depends if you have a hot hand. If Jose's got a hot hand that night,
You play. Trey is your power forward. He's your big.
yeah, it's true. But he's not your 5. Is he close to the 5?
I guess it depends. So, in the scenario last night, you don't really care about a big because you're defending the 3.
Yeah.
You let him live in the paint. You put your best defenders out there, and I put Larry. Larry's a good defensive.
I'm just intrigued by the lineup. The 4 you said are definitely intriguing, but who's the 5th?
Yeah, there's no offense to be
Who's
had.
the 5th?
Well, you got Trey. Trey is, but he's not an initiator.
I was gonna say, as good as Trey is right now and the leaps he's made, you're not gonna
I don't
put
know.
the ball in his hands and say,
Jose
okay,
with a hot
figure
hand
something out.
and Trey, it's not a bad. He can get some all. And Dyson can score.
Well, Dyson, in my mind, I was thinking Dyson might be the facilitator there.
Yeah, and let Jose run too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, you could
Get
throw
you a,
BI out
get you
there.
a stretch fight. Yeah, fuck it. Throw BI out there.
You throw BI and you let Trey be the 5.
yeah.
Who gives a shit?
All right, I'm in. Let's do it. That sounds fun.
They do have some.
How weird can we get with our
They
lineups?
do have some crazy defensive lineups.
We're sitting here talking lineups and how weird they've been, and we just we're like, hey, let's get weirder. Let's figure some shit out
I'm
here.
just thinking specific scenarios. Like in that scenario last night,
Yeah.
I saw somebody say it. Herb doesn't make that mistake that Trey made. 100. There's no chance that Herb makes that mistake.
No.
And it just
You know,
goes.
I saw Jose make a lot of mistakes on defense last night too. He got his steals. He played tough down the stretch, but there was a couple times where he was missing switches, not
whole
blitzing the
team
ball
was
when he
just
should have.
out of whack, man. I don't know if it's just a bad game.
Yeah.
Chalk it up to that. It's just a bad game.
Yeah. Which they should have won. I think that's what hurts is they should have stolen.
I can tell you one thing.
They didn't deserve to win it.
I can say one thing that I think we can agree on. It was not a season derailing loss.
It was definitely not a season derailing loss. I saw that. I'm gonna leave that guy alone, but
I just want to say that. Anyway,
you saw my face. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna let that sit.
There's a feature that could just go.
Yeah. Comical. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, did you see the guy that he wanted to trade for in the offseason just settled and got 3 years probation?
Wait, what?
I'm going down a rabbit hole. Some twit, yeah.
Or not Miles?
Yeah. You remember there was a video that came out that was making its rounds. It was on his podcast where he was like, "Yeah, we should trade for."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "You fucking kidding me? This is not
like the day
one.
after, like the day."
And,
I'll tell you, this has nothing to do with him. But you said like trade him for. If there's one player I think I would trade for right now that I would love for the Pelicans to have, it would be Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, he doesn't play defense.
I don't care.
At all.
Dude, I don't care.
Stretch 5 though.
Yes. That dude is on fire right now.
He is. He's killing it.
How about the Pelicans getting killed by Kelly Olynyk and Matt Ryan end games? It's always a Matt Ryan.
Fucking Matt Ryan, man. The dude wears 37. That's
he
what
was
hurt
a
my
DoorDash
feelings.
driver.
I don't fucking... Dude, ain't no goddamn way a dude wearing number 37 should be beating you at the end of the game.
Jesus.
That's my take. Whatever. We can move on.
Lakers roll out 2 or 3 white guys at a time. There's no reason we should be losing to that team.
Whatever.
They can't even play cornerback.
They can't. They damn sure can shoot over everybody on our team, though.
We call that a callback.
What?
So we call that a callback.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway.
Let's go top 5.
Let's go
Let's wrap
top
this shit up.
5.
Did we pick our top 5?
I don't know. No. You were figured out Rod.
I have a list for both. I don't have them in order, but I have a list for both.
I don't know.
All right.
It's up to you.
Since I'm going to Disney next week, and everybody has heard this, that's all. Not a callback, but a little foreshadowing at the beginning of the podcast into what we're doing here. We're going to do another Disney top 5, which we've done before. I don't remember what the last one was. Things we were excited about or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
This week, we're not going to go like parks related. We're both dads. We're going to go... Let's go villains.
Okay.
People like villains.
Sure.
Yeah, top 5 Disney villains. You start.
I start.
You
Okay.
start.
My number 5 is the evil Emperor Zurg from Toy Story.
Love it. I should have known that. I'm surprised he's not number 1 for you.
I will tell you he's not the only Toy Story person on my list.
Love it. Okay, we'll get into that.
I could have gave you a top 5, probably Toy Story villains.
Toy Story villains. I forget how many are technically villains.
Not on my list. Lotso could have been on the list.
Oh, Lotso's probably my favorite villain of all the toy. He smells like fucking raspberries.
That's true. It's very hard to pick a like what makes. I guess it's our favorite villains, like you said. It's not the best villains.
Yeah, I'm upset that I forgot Lotso because,
Yeah.
well, he probably wouldn't have made my list.
All right.
My number 5 is Mother Gothel.
Oh, from
Mother Gothel from Tangled.
the new one. Yeah.
Not the new one. That movie's 20 years old.
It's newer. Tangled's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
My number 4. No, I don't remember how to say her name. Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, Victoria would have loved that one. She said that one earlier.
Underrated movie.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove.
I think, you know what I think? I think I missed I missed it. I think my age, like I missed it. I was a little older, not older, but like I just didn't really watch movies at that point, or like Disney movies at that point. So I never watched Emperor's New Groove. Like to this day, I've never seen the whole movie.
I've never seen The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I have. I love that movie.
Which is kind of surprising.
I love it.
Considering it's based off of... Here, I want to watch. I mean, I've seen it's not like I'm completely oblivious to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen bits and pieces of it. But like nowadays, I guess because I have a kid now,
Mm-hmm.
every new... let's not say that because I'll watch every new Disney movie regardless. But
yeah.
now it's a point. Like it's on repeat if a new movie comes
the kids
out. You know what I
see
mean?
it now, so it's different.
So I guess it just was before that time. So I'd never really sat down and watched it. But now they're giving it a whole section in Disney World. So I would like to... Splash Mountain is becoming Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
So I would like to go see Princess and the Frog.
Splash Mountain, my number 5 best ride in Disney World.
My number 5
Oh, wait, we're not doing that list.
Rise of the Resistance.
There you go. Just bounce back and forth. My number 4 top villain, we're going to go Ursula.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't deny. I think a lot of mine are like older villains now that I'm looking at them.
I tried to mix it up a little bit. You know what I wanted to do? I didn't want to do just those,
Yeah.
like the big movies. But yeah, those are probably the biggest ones. My number 3 is Sid Phillips from Toy Story.
That's a good one.
The
I wasn't thinking of
the
him.
OG Toy Story villain.
Yeah, OG villain, blowing up all the toys. What an asshole. Also the callback to him later when he's like the garbage man.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, number 3 for me. I'm going. This is actually childhood favorite of mine. I don't know if it's my favorite Disney movie, but like a top movie. My favorite characters in this movie. I'm going Captain Hook.
Peter
number
Pan.
3. Peter. I don't know what my obsession is with Peter Pan, man, but I love
Are you
Peter
a lost
Pan.
boy?
I think I am. Peter Pan actually on my list of top rides in Disney World. Number 1. Number 1.
I've never ridden Peter Pan.
Oldie.
You know why?
You wouldn't choose it.
You know why? For whatever reason, the wait for that ride is outrageous.
It is.
Every single time you go.
It is.
Every single time. And it just feels like a ride that I'm not wasting a fast pass on. I'm not waiting 80 minutes to ride it. Not when there's so many other things at that park to do.
I think that it's just nostalgia. Like it's such an old ride,
Yeah.
but it's like it's on one of those old tracks.
It's
and
one of the ones where you don't understand how it's still hanging around.
Yeah, but it's way better than like, for example, like it's better than like Finding Nemo and better than Nemo's not even in Magic Kingdom. It's in Epcot, but it's also better than like the
Little Mermaid, like all those,
because all those are on those tracks. This is technically on a track as well, but the cool thing they do is you're in a pirate ship and like it's on a track that hangs from the ceiling. So you start on the floor and it like you go up and you like fly over Neverland.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
One day I'll ride it.
Yeah.
Where am I at? 2?
I just said my 3.
Yeah, so I'm at 2. 2 is Tamatoa from Moana, the snail.
I do like that one. I didn't even think of the new movies, man. These are great villains. I love Tamatoa.
He has the best song in the movie.
He does.
He has the best song in the movie, and it's my favorite. That's why I love him so much.
So
Shiny is elite. We could. Oh, that's another top 5 you should have went with.
Shiny is elite.
Top 5 Disney songs.
Dude, that's coming.
I'm writing it down.
That's coming. You're welcome, guys. Hopefully there's actually Disney fans who listen to us, because if not, we're just a bunch of Disney dads talking shit. My list too, I'm finding the only one on here that's not like music driven was Captain Hook. Every other person on here I chose because I liked a song in their movie.
I think my movies, looking at them, no. I was going to say I think my movies are based on the soundtracks, but only 2 of them are. My top 5 movies would be based on, not solely soundtracks, but the soundtracks make it like tippy top for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy to tell what my number 1 Disney movie is.
Yeah.
Like anybody who
the soundtrack wouldn't be.
No. I mean, it does have one of the better songs. You Got a Friend in Me is an all-time great.
Yeah. My daughter loves Woody's Roundup from the second one.
Woody's Roundup.
The Jesse song.
Yeah, that's sad.
With some. Anyways, I'm not going to sing. Didn't I do that on one episode? I sang. It was terrible.
Who knows?
My number 2, Scar from Lion King. And I think, first of all, he's a great villain. Second of all, the song "Be Prepared" is
Can
probably
I just give you my number 1 real quick?
one of my favorite. Yeah, go ahead.
Scar.
Fucking right.
He is the GOAT. Scar is the GOAT.
I love Scar. I was battling with that.
I've seen theories that Scar is actually not the villain in the movie. I want to deep dive on that one day.
We can. And then the little take where like they show him later and he's like playing with the skull. And they're like, oh, that's Mufasa's skull because it's like a lion or whatever. Like it's a lion skull. Love it. All right, my number 1, since we just blew past yours, since it was my number 2. This is a movie you mentioned earlier you've never seen. Dr. Facilier. He's the voodoo doctor in
Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. Also driven because of the songs in the movie, but yeah, he's evil, man. I don't know. I love it.
So I wrote down top 5 Disney songs. What Disney movie has the best soundtrack?
Oh, that's tough.
I say Lion King.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Lion King. You're gonna get some new age people.
Moana underrated.
So, there's two or three movies that came out in the last couple years that are in the running for top Disney soundtracks of all time. Encanto and Coco.
I've never seen Coco. If people thought it was emotional, I didn't want to do that.
Coco's a good movie, man.
Toy Story 3 made me want to cry. Speaking of emotional Disney movies.
That's a good movie.
That's a damn good movie.
It might be my favorite Toy Story.
You know what? I have a soft spot for the OG Toy Story, so it's always my number one. But Toy Story 3 is my second.
So, 3 was my favorite. 1 is the OG, so it's like, yeah. 2, I never really liked. 4, I think, is dog shit. I don't like 4.
I like 4.
I don't like Forky.
I love Forky.
Do you?
I think he's hilarious.
I don't like Forky.
I think he's so funny. I like stupid comedy.
Yeah.
4 was the one where you could tell they were trying to make it a little bit more for parents.
Yeah.
I thought. So I got a nice little kick out of it.
Another problem with 4, my daughter won't watch it. It scares her. It scares the shit out of her.
3 would scare him. 3 would scare kids.
She loves 3.
That's weird.
Because she loves Barbie.
Okay.
Barbie and Ken is like huge for her. So
she's a fan of the toys almost going into a pit of fire.
Well, she doesn't really pay attention to that part.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand death. She's 3. She thinks she's invincible. That's emotional for parents, not for kids.
My son only watches the first one.
Yeah.
I've never tried to sit down with like 3 or 4. He likes like Disney Plus has like the little shorts.
Yeah.
He liked the Halloween one.
Yeah. She liked that one too.
He doesn't he never really wants to sit down and watch 2. He'll watch 2 cuz he likes Bullseye.
Yeah.
But he won't watch
2
3 or 4.
I was never a fan of 2. Like I never really watched it, and apparently it's my wife's favorite. So like she not made my daughter watch it, but like they will watch it together, and then it became, I think, my daughter's favorite. So then I just found a fondness for it. Woody's Roundup, the Roundup Gang.
I want to say
it's
my least favorite, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like 4 a lot.
Yeah, I'll have to watch 4 again. I've only seen it once.
It's just funny. Like the storyline is whatever. Like it doesn't do anything for me, but I thought Forky was a fun character.
That's cool. No, but we'll get into that. We could do top 5 like Disney songs. You'll get some people saying like for the soundtrack thing. You'll get some people saying like Frozen.
Frozen's it's an okay soundtrack.
I think
Let It Go is a banger.
It is. I think that movie got so just overkill.
Also,
like,
underrated ride at Disney.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it took the track of another underrated ride. So.
What was there first?
Norway's fucking. It was like a Viking ride.
Yeah,
it's like a boat ride.
Okay.
Can't think of the name of it at the moment. Okay. Same track. They just updated it and put Frozen characters in it.
Yeah, Frozen the whole soundtrack. Meh. Let It Go, banger. I don't care for the second soundtrack.
It's got Fall Out Boy in it, so you know.
Encanto's definitely up there.
We watched Encanto today. I love Encanto.
And Moana. Damn, y'all.
And Moana. We did watch Moana today.
Moana, of the new movies, Moana's my favorite.
I do like Moana.
Moana's fun. I like The Rock though, so that's.
You're welcome.
Yep,
it's a phenomenal song. There's so many good songs in that movie. Well, we could talk about this all day.
Oh no, we're at an hour and 37 minutes.
Yeah, let's cut it.
This might be the record for the longest one. Oh, is that it?
No. No, we got to tell them where to follow. Follow at Be in the Know, the main Twitter account.
Know by now.
Follow at Who F'n Kneauxs. Well, if this is their first time, sticking with us an hour and 40 minutes. If it's your first time and you stuck through an hour and 40 minutes, holy shit. Get a life. No, at Who F'n Kneauxs, at Be in the Know, at the Patty V. That's all Twitter.
I would like to put this out there. If somebody can come up with a better handle for me that isn't so damn confusing. At Dave Rainey is already taken. Like all the ones you would say, all gone.
Yeah.
I just want a new handle. That's it. But it's at Rainy _days. The E is the 3. Blah blah blah. All that nonsense.
Yeah, it's probably been at the bottom of the screen at some point throughout this. So
I don't have anything to write. I was gonna write a Zion article, like I said, just way too much work at this point. You know what? My writing has not been happening. You ain't done Patty's players in like a month.
I was just gonna reference that. I was gonna say, listen, I need to apologize. Here's the funny thing: I haven't done Patty's players in a month. Not a damn person said anything.
I've been thinking.
So I was like, damn, like
I've been thinking it.
Yeah. I was like, God damn. I've had so much shit going on. Not that that's an excuse, but I just haven't found a rhythm to where I can record it and have it be relevant and have it be something I want to talk about.
I've been so into like playing around on Photoshop and making different things. Like that's been my focus lately is shirts and thumbnails and everything.
Yeah.
Trying to perfect my Photoshop craft.
Yeah. Well, keep doing it. It's looking better. Looks really good.
Thanks, man.
You gave me access for a day. I played with it for like 10 minutes.
You can get back on it.
I was like,
It's
let's
fun.
get this out.
You should do more.
I won't. I don't have time.
Well, this conversation's died.
All right. We didn't close this thing very well. Enjoy your night. If you stuck with us for an hour and 40, God, I don't know why.
Pels back tomorrow.
Yeah.
BI.
What is tomorrow? When is this coming out? What are we talking about?
I don't know. What day is it right now?
Thursday.
Oh, yeah. It'll be out tomorrow. At least audio-wise.
All right. Y'all go
Later.
bed. Adios.
Deuces.